Breaking right now, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle said to be furious, humiliated, and reeling after King Charles and Prince William scored a major PR victory by inviting the Sussexes' former friends David and Victoria Beckham to their first ever state banquet at Buckingham Palace last night. Watch this.
David Beckham has had some good chats with the King recently. He has teamed up with him to become an ambassador for the King's Foundation. Believe it or not, they bonded over jars of honey. David Beckham at a fashion event giving the King a jar of his honey and the King also sending one back in return. So yeah, the fact that we have David Beckham and Victoria Beckham attending their first state banquet.
And well, P-Dina, royal YouTube sensation, that is what you call rubbing salt in the wounds, because you know Harry and Meghan, very interested in their honey and their jam, but the King and David Beckham bonded over that. And what's so fascinating about this is it does show that there has been a real shift in celebrity power. Harry and Meghan initially, when they were in the royal family, had people like had people like Victoria and David Beckham in their orbit, but they are very much now on the outer, right back in the royal fold. So it's not a surprise to learn that this has very much upset Harry and Meghan, is it?
Absolutely. I think what it also does, it shows the whole world that they have lost favor with the royal family because they're now bringing in the people that once, I guess, gave a dig at Harry and Meghan, and now the royal family is, befriending these people. So I love to see it. I think it shows just how well the royal family is thriving, how well just saying nothing and getting along is really playing well for them. And it really shows us that you can't do what Harry and Meghan have done to your family and think that you're going to find success from that. You can't. And this is what we're seeing from the royal family. They are showing us just how powerful, successful, well aligned they are with people who are doing well and creating, I guess, great memories together. And you're never in history going to see photos of Harry and Meghan in these moments that are history making. That says a lot. They're being cut out of history. Harry is being pushed out of his family life with his family and from the royal duties. It's such a power move. I love it.
And P-Dina, the contrast could not be greater this week. And it is
Mhm.
hugely embarrassing for Harry and Meghan because they have that state banquet at Buckingham Palace. That's where everyone wants to be. And what are Harry and Meghan doing this week? Oh, some embarrassing showbiz events separate to each other. And you really just think about the contrast, P-Dina, and also what might have been. Because if they had stayed within the royal family, if they had made a real attempt to properly knuckle down and do their service, they would have been a big deal. Instead, what do we get this week? Look at this report from Marie Claire. Oh, Harry's going to be in New York plugging his book on some panel and attending a gallery in New York City. And Meghan is going to be attending the Paley Honors only because her friend Tyler Perry is getting a
Yeah.
big award. But the contrast, P-Dina, is just so significant.
It's very significant and it shows how far down they have fallen because you have to look at the fact that not only are they no longer going to be with the king and the royals, but they're not even going to be together as a couple. And the reason why that is also significant is because Harry was supposed to be with Meghan at the Paley Honors to give honor to Tyler Perry, the godfather to their children or their daughter, Lily. So I mean, the contrast is it's so sweet to look at. It just shows you have fallen from grace so much that you can't even be aligned as a couple to do something for a friend. together, and you're not even with your family who is playing up to the powers that be, for the UK, the government, Qatar. I mean, you are so away from anything really meaningful towards what you're supposed to be about, because you are supposed to be from royalty, and you're no longer aligned with that during this state visit. That is what is so significant, and for me, just nice to see, because they're not a part of it, and it shows how far they've fallen.
Yeah, worlds apart.
Worlds
Worlds
apart.
apart. Because all of the attention of the world that was on Victoria and David Beckham last night would have been on Prince Harry and Meghan if they had just behaved appropriately. But of course, that would have been impossible because of the personalities involved. I do want to dig in a little more, though, on this Tyler Perry decision, P-Dina, because obviously you're someone that knows a lot about how Hollywood operates. This is incredibly bizarre that Harry is on the board that decides the Tyler Perry honors, knew the date, knew that he was winning, but seemed to make a conscious decision to go and get booked on this book panel in New York. Even though he's not actively promoting Spare anymore, he didn't even contribute a new chapter for the paperback edition release, and he insisted that he wasn't doing any interviews. So to me, this looks like he's actually doing strategically whatever is necessary to avoid being seen in public with his own wife.
Absolutely, because this was around in July, I believe. It was reported by People magazine that they were both going to be there. So the decision for Harry not to attend came later, and the other proof of that is that on the website for this event, Harry is not on there. I mean, I went through the website. There is nothing about him being there unless it was added today. When I looked yesterday or the day before on Monday, it was not there. So this was a last minute thing that Harry did because he doesn't want to be around her. I think he's getting advice to not be seen with her for events because it hurts his brand, and he's trying to build his brand independent of his wife. So he is trying to be that royal like figure who is no longer aligned with the Hollywood style that Meghan is trying to align herself with. This is very intentional. And I almost have to think it has to be a personal thing, because you're honoring not just somebody, but someone who you have asked to be the godfather to your daughter. You would think any branding decisions would be trumped by the fact that you're showing up to support your daughter's godfather. So, and you're part of that, like the decisions. I mean, it doesn't make sense that he's not at least at this one. That's
And he
why I
didn't
find it
need to
so
be in New York.
surprising.
That's the thing. He didn't need to be in New York. And none of
No.
it adds up, P-Dina. They're treating us like we're stupid. And it's like we're not stupid. We see the briefing. We know what they're telling People magazine, what they're telling us weekly. And the argument for why they were attending events separately was so that one of them could stay at home with the children in Montecito. But that
Okay.
doesn't make
Wait,
sense in this
it doesn't
case
make,
because
wait a
he's
minute.
not at home in Montecito. He's in New York.
Exactly. He's not even there. The other thing is your mother, Megan's mother, is supposed to be watching the children when they go out. But yeah, it doesn't make sense. He's in New York City. Like, okay, so what? Who's watching the children now? Like, what's going on? Why are you separated during this event? It doesn't make sense. And so far away. I mean, it's not like he could, I mean, I think he could maybe even get on a plane and come back and honor Tyler Perry. I don't know the time, but it just makes no sense that he is
He doesn't want to be seen
purposely
with her.
trying to be far away.
He does not want to be seen with her in public.
Off the
Honestly.
state. He could have
Honestly.
found something to do, I think, in California, maybe. And then, I don't know. It doesn't make sense. I'm just like so through with him. But
Uh,
I love it at the same time.
what's your view on the Beckhams, P-Dina?
Well, I do like the Beckhams. I saw the documentary, and I guess Victoria is going to be coming out with another documentary about her fashion brand. So I do like them. Now, I know Victoria, she gets, I mean, I think a lot of people give her flack, but I like her for her husband, because I think her husband's a good guy. I like him.
Yeah, because, see, I have an interesting
Yeah, I know you have a
relationship with
different
the
story.
Beckhams
Yeah.
that dates back years and years. I think the Netflix documentary was good spin, good PR spin. But I think the reason that they have dropped Harry and Meghan, being completely honest, is not just down to Harry and Meghan's behavior. Don't get me wrong. They were
Okay.
appalling to the Beckhams. They treated the Beckhams like a complete piece of dirt. Meghan claimed that Victoria was leaking information to the media. Trust me, that's not how Victoria operates. Victoria was no big fan of the British tabloid press. But, and this is where the but comes in, he wants a knighthood more than anything, P-Dina. He wants to be Sir David Beckham more than anything. It hasn't been awarded to him because of his tax affairs previously, and also because of the Becky leaks emails, where Beckham really was exposed as a bit of a nasty piece of work. Now, I know a lot of people are fans of David Beckham, but I'm just stating the facts of what those emails revealed. So I do think there is a degree of strategy behind why they decided to drop Harry and Meghan in favor of the royal family. But again, that was a real naivety of the Sussexes, wasn't it? They never really understood that one of the reasons all of these celebrities who you've never met or who you've literally shook hands with at a film premiere want to show up to your wedding is not because you're Harry Windsor and Meghan Markle. It's because you're Prince Harry and Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex. Celebrities who, as you know, can be very vapid and very much about their own ambition, want that sort of proximity to true royalty. And Harry and Meghan are no longer true royalty. In fact, they're not even on the Hollywood A-list anymore. They're probably on like the Hollywood D-list.
Absolutely. I think Megan miscalculated when she thought people would show up because of her. And it was her connection to royalty. And she just didn't get it. Or maybe she was too full of herself to think that, oh, they're here for me. And she's actually taking away her husband's power. He's no longer really, when you say prince, okay, on paper. But in California, frolicking around on a surfboard, he is not a prince. I'm sorry. This man is somebody that has some connection to royalty, but we don't see it. His family doesn't want anything to do with him. And so he has lost that as well. He's lost his power that Megan so carefully sought. And now she doesn't really have that man who is giving her that status the way he could had they stayed in the UK. Yeah, it's really it's interesting to watch Megan try to gain so much from this loose connection now to royalty, because we can see that it's a lost cause. It will never pan out the way she's envisioned it to. And Harry, I think, has gotten it. This is why we don't see him with her as we would normally see him with her, because he sees that he is losing more and more the more he stays with her. So this is the beginning, I believe, of the separation, first professionally and then personally, because he's trying to get that power back that Megan has drained from him. So it makes sense that we're not really seeing them together like we should be, right? And Megan's going to continue trying to go after Hollywood, the people that she, I guess, admires and wants something from, but are not taking her calls, by the way. I'm not sure if you've heard that, but they're not.
Why would they? Why would they? I mean, it's a transactional business, P-Dina.
Yeah.
She ain't offering them anything. She's certainly not
No.
offering them eyeballs or the ability to make money. And then at the same time, Harry, for all of his bluster and his bombastic attempts to destroy the reputation of the royal family through the courts, you just know, and I know for certain, that the Christmas snub, no attempt from King Charles or Prince William to get him back to the UK for the festive season, it hurts. Now, I know it's an academic argument, P-Dina, because he wasn't going to go, she wasn't going to go, there's all of the security discussions, but I love the fact that Charles and William are not playing into his ego. They're not trying to stroke his little head and make him feel better with a courtesy invite. They're just like, no, you're not
Yeah,
invited. We don't want you. I think it was absolutely the right decision. But first, You know how I often talk about the need for free speech to be protected, but I've been increasingly thinking of the need for personal protection online from snoopers, bad actors, and hackers, and I've found a fail-safe solution. But what's more, this VPN is also life-changing when it comes to providing you entertainment and information from anywhere in the world. So let me introduce you to Surfshark. This is an incredible and easy way to use a service that encrypts your internet traffic. Basically, what that means, let me explain it to you if it's your first time hearing about a VPN. It means that all your online activities stay safe so you can shop, stream, browse, and conduct your banking online in complete privacy. But there are lots of practical benefits too. Surfshark allows you to access your favorite entertainment and news shows and channels from anywhere in the world. Doesn't matter where you are, including streaming services like Hulu, iPlayer, HBO Max, and Peacock. Or if one of your favorite shows happens to be blocked in the country that you're in on Netflix or Amazon Prime or Disney Plus, you will be able to, within seconds, be watching as if you're in another country. Really clever for sport content too. If you're traveling for work or on holiday, you can get all your favorite games. There's also an insurance policy here because you know lots of countries are heading towards censorship. France has even blocked Rumble for months now, but this allows you to watch anything, anytime, anywhere. It is true freedom. A VPN like Surfshark can save you money too because you can get the best deals from websites that change prices depending on where you are buying from. So you can be quite crafty with it. Lots of other benefits with the Surfshark deal. Unlimited devices, which means your entire household can stay safe with just one subscription. There are over 3,200 servers in over 100 countries, meaning there is a world of choice at your fingertips. And I know the whole concept of a VPN is new to some of you, but there is 24/7 customer service if this is your first time. So it's a no-brainer to go to surfshark.com/outspoken for an extra 4 months of Surfshark at an unbeatable price. Surfshark is so confident that they're the best in the world that you can try it for 30 days. If you're not entirely satisfied with the service, you'll get your money back. I think you will be, though. I use it, and it has been utterly brilliant. So go to surfshark.com/outspoken for an extra 4 months of Surfshark at an unbeatable price. But now, back to the show.
Yeah, I think they appear stronger. I think even more people they appreciate it more and they're more aligned with the decisions that the monarchy is making. And it gets them people to really be, I think, excited to support them because they don't want to see the monarchy supporting, Harry and Meghan, considering everything that they have done. So it does up their popularity as well, I believe. And it's a good move. It's a good strategy. It shows strength. It shows that you're strong and you're not going to, kowtow down to this bully, Harry and Meghan. You're going to hold strong and get more support, be stronger for it, and look great and do great things. I think it looks fabulous on them to give them the boot, so to speak.
And are they really going to have a happy Christmas this year? Because they both seem utterly miserable.
They- It's been how many? I think this is the fifth year for Harry to be away from his family. I mean, you think about the holidays at the with the royal family, all that's happening, all the movement, all the children, the excitement, everything that is happening, and now you are exiled from that. You are no longer a part of something that was your tradition growing up. These childhood memories that Harry holds from being with his family, that is now all gone. And I can only imagine looking at your children now, watching them grow up without that special thing that you had growing up. It must be very hurtful for Harry to see his children losing out on something that was very special because this is the time when the children are so young and they grow up and make all these memories with their cousins at such a young age. This is what gives you the bond that you get later in life, and they're missing out on that. And I believe Harry is feeling very hurt by it all. I'm sure he has to. You can't tell me that he is content and happy with being isolated from his family during the holidays. This is a time of family gathering and getting together. For him, I think he feels like he's lost everything, and we can see it how he's trying to get some of that back. And this is part of what he's lost. And for his children, it's really sad when you look at it like that. You
I
know,
mean, it
it's really
is.
sad.
He knows. He knows what he's lost. He knows what he's taken away. But unfortunately, he's too stubborn. He's too pig-headed. He's too arrogant. He's too badly advised to turn it around. Because turning it around, P-Dina, would mean immediately dropping the court cases. And he's not going to do that because he's so focused on misery, which is so ironic given they're a couple that spoke about spreading joy around the world. But look, I want to get to this quite major breaking news today because it's been such a long time since we heard anything about what these two are doing with the money from Archewell, right? And the documentary on German television this week on ZDF was damning. Actually, damning about the amount of money that's been raised, damning about the amount of time, just an hour a week that they're putting into Archewell at all. And I think this revelation today is equally damning because what it shows to me is that Harry and Meghan are now using Archewell to develop political and societal connections rather than actually change the world, which is not what a charity is meant to be used for. So let me just take you through the story because this is a new one. So here's the Daily Telegraph's report on it. Harry and Meghan gave almost £200,000 to Joe Biden's daughter to fund a wellness centre. This is according to their tax return. So it's 250,000 American dollars, 197,000 pounds in British money, British currency. This is Ashley Biden's women's wellness space in Philadelphia. It was the largest grant the Archewell Foundation made to any charitable cause all year, with the commitment of the project to help women in need said to resonate with Prince Harry and Meghan. In a video celebrating the foundation, which you can see there, set to Coldplay's song A Sky Full of Stars, the couple is seen at events around the world, including the Invictus Games events, the Parents Network, and their visit to Colombia. At one point, Meghan is seen addressing a group of women, saying, when you show up in community, you find that group that makes you feel like home. But oftentimes, you'll also find yourself again. Oh, yeah. Does that make sense? And Harry says, every single one of you inspire me and you inspire us every single day. So please continue to be there to support each other. Meanwhile, the tax filing reveals that Archewell received £4.1 million in grants, largely comprising a 3.9 million cash injection. The remaining income came from 5 individuals. None of them are made. But the £3.9 million is understood to have come from Fidelity Charitable, a US-based fund that also donated $789,000 the previous years. Archewell gave a total of $1 million to charitable causes, which, to be honest, is bugger all. Let's just be honest about it. And P-Dina, why I think this is so disgusting is the biggest grant goes to Joe Biden's daughter. You really think Joe Biden's daughter needs money from Harry and Meghan? Or do you suspect, as I do, that this is Harry and Meghan attempting to buy influence with the then US president, the person who they hoped would get 4 more years in the White House, to stop a potential deportation?
Yes, and to stop the visa application from being revealed. So absolutely, that is so disgusting because you're not really giving the money to the organizations that could really benefit. The most money is going to very wealthy people. I mean, you can't tell me that her charity work is not well funded because I'm sure it is. And it just gives you insight into how they're using their charity to enrich themselves. One of the first things that I always talked about when they came to the States and looking for contracts and trying to get money and trying to pay their own bills, so to speak, why would you even start a charity if your goal is to make money? So it tells me that your goal is to use the money from the charity to help enrich yourself, to help with your global brand, and to get more access out of different people, countries, to help yourself make more money. This is not about helping people. It's not about showing your support. I mean, look at the number of hours that they donate to working for this charity, Archwell. 1 hour a week is what
1
was
hour a
reported.
week.
You mean that right there? And this is the
Shameless.
thing to know about American charities, because I run a charity. Your work is to be created out of community for trying to solve problems within that community. And your work is the charity. That's not their work. Their work are these $1 million deals to enrich themselves. I mean, why are they able to get away with this? I think certain things are going to have to happen for this charity to look like it is really doing the work that they're saying, because from the financials to it to all the things that we see that they're doing in terms of their work, they're not owning up to what they're supposed to do as founders of a charity. It's a sham. That's
Of
what it is.
course, it's a total sham. And look, the thing is, P-Dina, right? I understand that for most charities, it would be a huge achievement to raise $1 million. And I'm not belittling that for 1 second. But remember, these are people who have taken hundreds of millions of dollars, hundreds of millions from corporates. They now spend their lives around big money. So $1 million to charity for Harry and Meghan is a piss poor effort. I am sorry to swear, but it
Yeah.
is.
It really is. I mean, so much can be done with the money. And look at the number of people that they're giving this to. They're not really making that impact that they're supposed to be making with the money that they have coming in. This leftover amount of dollars just looks like it's going towards paying for their travel, paying for their security, all the things that they need the charity to pay for, not really to help the people. And I've always said that Meghan is not really about helping people. If charity was in her heart, she would not be treating her own family like they
No,
are
indeed.
strangers. You know, she can't treat people
I know.
she doesn't know
Letting
like charity.
Lady Colin Campbell raising money for her own father's medical bills.
Father.
It is
Yeah.
truly, truly disgusting. But I'm sorry, Archewell's a flop.
Yeah,
Archewell is a flop.
absolutely.
And the
It's a
charitable
big
arm of Archewell is a massive flop. Given their profile, given the money that they're surrounded by, those figures stink. And the fact that you're giving 250K to Joe Biden's daughter, despicable. Utterly, utterly despicable. Thank you so much for watching Dan Wootton Outspoken. Please click on my face just to the bottom left to subscribe to this brand new independent news source and turn on the notification bell so you'll be alerted to our brand new live shows, uncancelled interviews, and special royal episodes. Outspoken is also now available as a podcast, so you can listen to the show every weekday on the go, wherever you are.